Hey, Brittany.
Yes, you're up streaming right now if you want to go ahead
Okay,
and get started.
sorry. Thank
No,
you.
you're fine.
Hey guys, I'm Arizona. I'm in the airport though, so may go on mute most of the time.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Mayor. Okay. Are we ready to go, Brittany?
Yep, you're good to go.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. I will call the City of Charleston Recreation Committee meeting to order today, Monday, September 16th, 2024 at 4 p.m. Um, if we can just have a brief moment of silence and then we'll get the meeting started. Amen. All right. Now for approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So second.
Thank you. And Madam or Mrs. Colston, I just wanted to, with the amendment that I was not present at the August 20th meeting. So if we can approve those minutes as amended.
Yes, I'll go ahead and let them know to update those.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Great, thank you. All right, moving on for a Parks Projects update. Mr. Kronzberg?
Okay, good afternoon, Madam Chairperson, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember McBride, Councilmember Gregory, other attendees. I will provide you all a report on parks and.
No, Mr. Kronzberg, I am so sorry. I moved right past item 3. Is there anyone, I apologize,
No
Jason.
problem.
Is there anyone online that asked to speak, Brittany?
From my understanding, no one signed up to speak or anything like that.
Okay, all right. I apologize. Go ahead, Mr.
Okay.
Kronzberg. I'm so sorry.
No problem, no problem. So, providing an update and information on uh, athletic field maintenance and parks maintenance. So we have completed our fall sports layouts, parks wide, over 100 different layouts for multiple field sizes. And over the last 3 months, we've completed almost 1,500 paints and infield drags across the city. Annual turf and field maintenance, weed management, fertilization, and pest management is ongoing and on schedule for our athletic fields. Mostly mowing every 4th day for high-use turf to keep that turf low and safe for athletics. Top dressing of sand has been completed across our athletic complexes at West Ashley Park. Ackerman, Bayview, Governors, Harmon, and Gadsden Borough should be completed this week. Over the past couple of years, we've been doing some pilot programs on overseeding with rye, which hasn't been a standard practice in the city. And it's gotten really positive results from users, and it's helped with the fields to withstand the rigors of daily sports. So we are working out at Governors, Bayview, Bees Landing, West Ashley Park, Ackerman, Harmon, and Gadsden Borough, getting ready to accomplish that overseeding. Areas that are not overseeded will get regular pre-emergent herbicides for the fall and winter weeds. We've ordered some clay for James Island Rec to repair some low spots in field 2, touch up mounds on 1 and 3, and rebuild bullpen areas. That's general kind of athletic field and turf maintenance updates current. Going into some project-specific updates, we received bids on the municipal golf course restroom projects on August 29th. Came in a little over our budget, so we're working with our budget, finance, and revenue collection department to identify the additional funding that's needed. Currently in the final stages of permitting for the Governor's Park field drainage system. So that is, again, a full subterranean drainage system for that multi-field complex on Daniel Island. Court resurfacing, across the city. Contractor began work on September 3rd. Works completed to date are Bees Landing and Maybank Tennis, Thomas Johnson and Moultrie. So we're working through the remaining courts on that project. Most of you are if you're not, the work at Johns Island Park is ongoing by Charleston County School District, and they hope to be complete by the end of December. Let's see. I have a large number of work order requests that we've completed citywide and related facilities. I'm not sure if you want me to go through all of that. Some of that stuff was budget requests from the prior year. Happy to go through all of that if you would like.
Can you put it up on the screen?
Yeah.
I can't see it, but
Yeah, right here.
Chairman Parker
I think he's working on it. There we go.
got it.
So disregard the typos if you see them. Harbor View, Fort Johnson, new drinking fountain. We've repaired tennis and basketball court lights at Park Shore, Charleston Tennis Center, Bees Landing, Moultrie, Jack Adams, Deming, and Forest Park. Thomas Johnson Park House, we've epoxied the bathroom floors and working on sink replacements and cabinets and faucets in the week or so coming to kind of give those restrooms a little facelift. James Island Rec, a lot of thicket clearing. The outdoor restrooms will be getting the same epoxy flooring in the coming weeks. And we've created work orders to have all of the traffic signage to be updated. A lot of it's old and faded and damaged. I think that work may have happened this morning, but T&T was helping us with that. Johns Island Park replaced a damaged backflow. Forest Park, 3 new exterior doors on the park house as requested by Recreation. Willie Gaines got somewhat of a facelift, if you will. We replaced and repaired all of the sidewalks, interior, exterior doors, gutters, painted the interior and exterior, and new yard drainage, and replaced the roadside gravel for parking. That was work that was identified in the master plan, and we had made budget requests the prior year. Some fencing repairs around the pickleball court at Moultrie. W.L. Stevens and Maybank Tennis Center had some water damage from storms where some ceilings fell out, and so we had our internal staff go and replace and repair that work in those 2 locations. Some yard hydrant repairs at the locations identified here, community gardens and other parks around. HVAC repairs at Low Country Senior Center, Shaw Center, Herbert Hazel Pool, replaced some sink faucets, Joe Riley Ballpark, started some safety hand railing behind the Shoeless Joe Hill, new rule signs at MLK Pool, 2 new scoreboards at Bees Landing Rec and the ball fields, repaired some interior door lock sets, flush valves. Again, a lot of the stuff is some requested maintenance from Recreation Department, or in this case, LTP Tennis on Daniel Island. In the clubhouse there, some water intrusion on the ground level of that older facility. Repaired fencing and gates at Charleston Center. And then another budget request from last year was to replace all the field netting at West Ashley Park. That's been completed. Been working on the floating dock gangways, new footbridges, and some gate hinges, grading out the parking lot, and irrigation pump and sump pump repairs, all at West Ashley Park. More net work, part of the budget request from the prior year at Ackerman. W.L. Stevens chlorine system replacement. Working with the Muni golf course staff to do some work on the golf course, and Mary Utsi Park trip hazard repair, refurbished parking area, graded out Johns Island Park, working with the CCSD to get some stuff out of their way while they do that work. New balance beam at James Allen Rec, Daniel Allen Rec Center, clean vents and replace some ceiling tiles that were needed, and went out to the West Ashley Greenway and worked to repair some trip hazards and ponding issues down at the southern end of the Greenway. And then last but not least is the AC and the umpire's locker room at Stony Field. So I shared all of this stuff with you. I tried to isolate it out, recreation related work orders and things that are general work that happens in our facility citywide. Certainly, this is just a piece of the total work in other not recreation program parks and locations. So just kind of give that all to you as a snapshot of the past couple months for work around the city.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Kronsberg. I mean, I know for myself, I mean, I think that type of stuff, I know that it's ongoing. You're doing it all the time, but for us to hear it and for citizens to hear it and see it, I mean, a lot of this stuff is small and it's not, it isn't those big items, but it's those small items that affect the day to day, when you're there 2 to 3 times a week for your children's practices, you see these things. And so I think it's great. I really thank you for that presentation and sharing that with us. As we know, there's a lot going on. So I just think updates like that are really helpful, I know, to me. And I don't know if any other members of the committee had any other questions about any of those items or anything to add. I don't see any hands. So
if you all ever see anything, all those extra eyes and ears, just let us know and we'll do what we can to get it all reconciled.
Okay. All right, great. Well, thank you so much for the update. I think moving on, if there aren't any other questions, we just have any other miscellaneous items to come up. Again, I don't
one question.
Sure.
One question here. Sorry, I can't raise my hand because I'm not technically inclined enough to know how to do it on my phone. But Jason, if you could give us an update on the RFPs for Johns Island and W.L. Stevens.
Yeah, so we've drafted selection committee for Johns Island Park Rec Center and the Forest Park renovation as one project. And we are right now working through cost estimating, working with the Civic Design Center to come up with a concept plan for Johns Island Park Rec Center so that we can use that to establish some cost estimations and budgeting from. As soon as we get that and we work with BFRC to identify the funds for that design exercise, we will send notices out to all of you that will be on the selection committee so we could get that RFQ out for design services.
I do think, just for whatever it's worth, I think we have some funding right now. I'll confirm with BFRC. I think we have some funding for doing the preliminary design. So we want to expedite this, I think. So if we can push Civic Design, if you need my help on that, I'd like to get this RFP out so we can at least pick a designer and get it going and get people excited about it so that we don't lose any time once we have funding capacity, which will be January. So,
absolutely.
All right. Councilmember McBride.
Yeah, just real quick follow-up. Thanks, Jason, for that presentation. For that RFP, is it, having never seen an RFP that the city does for these kind of things, is it broad, like how narrow is it as far as the design or the functions of that facility on Johns Island? Is it broad so that as the design happens, there's room for flexibility, or is the RFP written so narrow that it's kind of?
No, it'll be defined such that There's robust community engagement to hear from the citizens as we
Perfect.
define and develop the program.
Perfect. Yep. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you. That's great.
Okay. Wonderful. Any other questions? I don't see any hands, so moving on, I mean, just miscellaneous business. I think, Mr. Mayor, what you kind of touched on, that's a perfect segue. That would be the only other thing that I would let this committee know of and ask of the mayor, that hopefully and staff, that maybe next month we're talking about the bond referendum now that we've passed, now that we've done all of the sort of housekeeping items, and hopefully in October we can bring something to the committee to really dive into that. That's the only thing that I would sort of make a request for at the end of this meeting. But other than that, unless there is anything else to come before the committee, then I move that we adjourn.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks a lot.
Take care. Bye-bye.